Happy weekend. So I wanted to start doing some videos on purpose because I'm in the midst of finding my purpose right now. So as it's building and I'm discovering it, I want to keep doing videos on it so you can kind of follow along from the beginning and see all the steps along the way of how to go about doing that, right? So I got fired on September 19th, the one that just passed. And before that, I thought I had purpose because I was a scheduler, cost controller. I was overseeing 50 million a year, major hydropower power. Now I can't even see my job. Anyways, running all the meetings with the PMs and cost controllers and procurement and blah, 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 blah. I was working my way up to becoming an APM, working on my CAPM certification. So I thought I had purpose, right? All that to say, I thought I was on the track of my career, right? But it turned out I wasn't, and it wasn't my calling. It wasn't my destiny. It wasn't the purpose I was made for. It was me trying to direct my own steps, which, speaking of direct your own steps, I got this coloring book that I just ordered off Temu. It was like $2, and every single picture is a different shoe, and it's a shoe with flowers. So I'm gonna find all scripture through the Bible about like walking by faith and not by sight, and just following his path and all, and put that and color it and give these out to some of the girls when I do my speaking engagements with the school. So I'm super excited about that because I get to color it with Milky pens. So it's really, really good for my wrist. Enjoy it. Learn some different sculpture and then bless somebody else with it, right? So that for like $2, there's like, I hope the pages are numbered. They're not, and I'm not counting them. There's got to be at least 20 pages, so maybe about 20 cents per page or something. I could give them a really pretty little thing that they'll hang in their rooms. So back to purpose. There's going to be a lot of shoot-offs from this. So I thought, I was walking my path, but I wasn't. So now that I gave it up to God, he is. So what is walking in purpose when it's God directing your steps? This is how it looks. You don't see the whole staircase. You see one step at a time, and you don't see the next step till you take that step. So what's very important is obedience. When he puts an idea in your head, when he shows you what to do, when you're praying and you receive answers to prayer, and he gives you that answer, now you act on it, because God can't move a parked car. He can show you everything clear as day, but if you're not going to do it, it's not going to work. That's why it's faith walk with Jesus, because you both have to be doing it, right? So you surrender everything to God, and you ask him to direct your paths and your destiny, everything, and you give it all to him. So then for me, it was, a couple days ago, at this point I lost track of time which day, when I got the word talk about bullying at the school. So I was like, all right. And then 2 hours later, the principal is here, is confirmed. And now all that's in the works of happening for me to speak at 4 places about it. So God, did that. I didn't know at the time when I thought I was speaking at the school, I thought it was 1 speaking engagement. I didn't know it would be 4 off the bat. But if I didn't pursue it, it wouldn't matter if God told me, right? So that's how my entrance into my ministry is starting. I'm getting ordained, so I'll be working on that. So I thought my next certification was going to be CAPM, but now it's going to be an ordained minister. So that's what I mean. You think you have a path, and then God shows you, now give it up to me and let me direct your path. And it's never, ever going to be nearly what you could have done yourself. It's not going to be, what you would have planned in your own life. It's not a hair on your head, the goodness, what Jesus plans for you. So that was my first step in my faith walk. And then it actually went a step further from that. So I don't know yet how this part is going to kind of come into play If it will, if it won't, who the heck knows? But the making's there, right? So I was talking about like how I love just doing like pretending to be a ventriloquist when I was a little girl and stuff, and I loved it. And it was for like a couple of years. I'm not gonna say it was a short-lived thing of mine. It was for a couple of years. I got that one at Disney World for my mom, and it was so special to me. So that phase lasted years. So hopefully that's still somewhere in my brain of the, not the frontal lobe, that doesn't hold your unconscious thoughts. It's another part of your brain. I've been looking into studying different parts of the brain to figure out if there's a smooth way for me to transition myself into the different parts of my brain that my thinking bounces around operating out of. So that's something real cool. I think I'll find some success in researching, because there's gotta be a way, right? There's a way for everything. So that was my start in Walking with Purpose, and I'll keep you guys posted as it evolves. So the part I would like to see this specific part of it evolve into is so then Adam got me a ventriloquist doll. I'm not going to tell you guys anything more about her, but I gave you one hint. It's a her. So I'm thinking what I would like to do is kind of do good cop, bad cop, that the doll is bad cop because I'm with Jesus, and the doll doesn't have a soul. So she could kind of get away with saying a lot more than I can. I got to only speak, from Jesus, and I don't, so she's going to be bad cop. I'm going to be good cop. And I wanted to do like a whole thing on bullying for little kids. I wanted to do it like at the library and stuff for the elementary school kids. And I thought that'd be kind of fun to wear matching outfits with her. And she could kind of talk about bullying, and I'd be like, saying all the good stuff of how, yeah, but they're still good people even though they did a bad thing. And she'd be like, but bad is bad, don't be bad. And just kind of like, I'm going to find the words to say, and I'll sit in the spirit when I write it all. So it's still spirit led. So that was a brand new idea as of last night. So I haven't put much thought into it because I went to bed really, really early. So I had the idea, and probably 15 minutes later I was sleeping. And this morning I've been thinking of a lot of other stuff. So we'll see if that unfolds, So that also, goes hand in hand with God's divine connection. When Jesus is choosing the people that are in your circle, that you're communicating with, that you're doing life with, it's always iron sharpening iron. So now if something does come out of me getting this doll, that would have never been a door opened, because I would have never had it in my mind of how to talk to elementary school kids ever. So I definitely would have stayed with the older kids. I never would have transitioned into that. Not ever, and it's literally only because of the doll. So if I didn't get that doll, it wouldn't have happened. So now if it does happen, it's just because of who God placed in my life to work through, right? Because God uses people as vessels of his work. So I'm really excited to see what comes of that, because once I found out about that doll, that's exactly where my mind went, was talking, the little kids. It made me think of little Mrs. Doubtfire. I think it's called Mrs. Doubtfire. And I love Robin Williams, and I understand a lot about him, and I love that movie. So I'm probably going off on a tangent. So that's it. I'm going to go, because if I spiral into so many thoughts, then I can't really even say the video was about purpose if it's about purpose and then 17 other things. So I'm just going to cut it there. Have a great Saturday. Bye.